Kia ora koutou, room 15 and 16. Today I thought we could do some really cool loggerhead turtle art because we are looking at the ocean this term, and if you've been having a look at the stuff that's online, the activities available, you will see that one of the creatures that is quite prevalent in our coastal waters, particularly in the North Island, is the loggerhead turtle, and that's what we are going to draw today. Now for this you're going to need a pencil, obviously, a piece of paper. I've got yucky old rubber there. I've got a light blue pencil, which you guys know that I like to use for sketching, and a Sharpie. And of course, if you're using a Sharpie at home or anywhere, in fact, you will need some old newspaper or something similar to put down so that you're not marking the table or workbench or wherever it is that you're working. Right, let's get on with it. Oh, there you are. Right, for my turtle body shape and flippers, because you remember turtles are mainly aquatic, so they don't have feet, they have flippers all around. I've gone outside and I've selected a few leaves. I've got these 3 leaves here which I'm going to trace around for my body shape. I've got my flipper shape, and I've picked that one for a turtle's head. You know, if you're going outside, be careful because there's a lot of wasps around at this time of year. Maybe if you're going to have a look through the garden for the appropriate leaves, you might need to take your parents with you, just be careful. Okay, let's get on with it. Now I'm going to use the pointy part of the leaf at the other end from the stem there, and I'm going to use that for the back end of my turtle, and I'm going to gently trace around using my light blue pencil, but you guys probably won't be able to see this, so what I'll do is I will mark it in the other grey pencil in a minute. Right, there I have it. Now I want to just bring the back end of my turtle in a bit more pointy than the leaf actually was, and you'll see that I've put it diagonally on the page. I'll just put that in again now with the grey pencil so that you can see more clearly what I'm doing. There we go. Right, now I'm going to do my legs. Do turtles have legs? No. Do my flipper placement using my sort of medium-sized leaf that I've got. So this time I'm going to use the stem end as the end of the flipper, and you'll see that I'm laying it into the body a little bit at that end, so I'm not using the whole thing, and I'm tracing around there like so. Now this one over here, I'm going to put it in a similar kind of position, but I don't think it matters too much really. And up here, I'm going to put one there, and you'll see I'm laying the leaf into the body a little bit. Whoops-a-daisy, I haven't traced that very well. And this one over here, putting it on less of an angle there. Right, there we go. Now I've got my basic flippers, but what I'm going to do now, this is the important bit, is I'm just going to put a bit of a different sort of a pointy hook just on there, just like that. Not very tidily, just a bit roughly, bit of a hook. Cool, I think that looks good. Now my turtle's head, I'm going to give it the more pointy stem end of the leaf, and I'm just going to move it around until I decide which way I like my turtle's head facing. I'm going to put it like that and trace around that roughly. Now I'm just going to tidy that up into more of a point. Look at my beautiful leaf. I'm just going to copy now the structure, the shape, the structure of the veins of the leaf. So it's got a big center one. I put that in lightly, and then just roughly I'm going to space out some pieces like this, same on both sides, some veins there like that. Now if I want to make that a bit fancier, and I do, I'm going to put in just a big koru swirl on there, and then come on the inside again, and I'm not going to worry if it's a little bit untidy because I can also fix that up when I use my marker pen. Now for each flipper I've decided to do a different design, so I'm just going to put a sort of a center line through each of my flippers like so, and this is really up to you what you want to put in your flippers. So in this one here I've decided I'm just going to do some triangles that are jagged and just getting smaller there, and then each side of the center line in that flipper I'm doing the same thing. That's cool. Now my turtle's head, I'm going to do a swirly wave up the center, and I'm going to give him his two eyes right here, and it kind of looks a bit like his mouth. But I have seen on some other people's pictures that they do a little thing like that, but I'm not going to do that. In fact, I'm going to rub that out. I'm quite happy with the way that looks. Okay, now that I've got my basic design, my next step is I'm going to line it all in with my marker pen, and I'm going to do that now. So I've got my kuru design in the middle here, so my leaf veins, I'm only going to line in the ones that are outside of that design because I don't want to go, and that's where it starts getting a little bit tricky. You have to just go really slowly. If you're doing the same thing that I'm doing, you may not be doing that. And you know what, even if you do make a mistake in there, that doesn't really matter, because art is art. It is what it is, and the way it turns out is the way it's going to be. And I'll just put that line in there, do my zigzags. I want to talk about my triangles here. You'll see that I'm doing a lot of this in a Pasifika style, and these ones here I'm just going to do a little triangle at the bottom of those so that I kind of get a shark's tooth look kind of happening. So just a little flick up triangle there, a little bit rough, but that's okay. Get the general effect. Right, that looks quite cool. You can actually do anything that you want to in there. You don't have to do the same as me. You might have some better ideas than I've got. Just like last week when we did the giraffe, and mine looked terrible compared to a lot of other people's giraffes. But that's okay. I'm just filling in the bits that I want black now. And you guys know, and I've said this before when I'm demonstrating art, when you're using well, when you're colouring in anything, try to keep all your lines going the same way. My pen is actually running out a little bit here. I probably might need another one. And then at the end, once we've got all the black in that we need, I will rub out all of the pencil marks that I don't want. Just about finished up on my blacking in now. Now if you don't have a Sharpie or sorry, a black marker, you can just use a black crayon if you've got crayons, or some felts. Now what I do always is at the end I just go around my lines again very slowly if the lines are a bit untidy, just on the outside edge, because sometimes we tend to go over the edge a little bit, and I can straighten up a few of my lines, put a little bit more of a point on that one. I'm quite happy with a lot of that, or I can see a little bit there and there. And it's these little touch-up parts that make you know, make your artwork look a lot better. And we do want it to look as good as we can possibly get it, within reason, of course. What have I got to do now? I've got to rub out. Ooh, there's a mark on my paper anyway. I'm rubbing out all my pencil. It looks like someone's dropped their breakfast on my piece of paper before I even started, and I can tell you it wasn't me. Right, let's have a look. Here we go. That's looking pretty good. Now, I could then colour in all of the background of this in a blue or a green, whatever you've got really. But I'm lucky because at home here I've got some coloured paper, so I would cut this out and then set it on coloured paper. And here is one that I prepared earlier. I haven't glued it on yet, but I could put that on there. But of course, like I say, if you didn't have any coloured paper, you could just colour in the back of that, which would be fine. In fact, you could use multiple shades of blue and get a really nice ocean look going, with even with a bit of green and stuff. So there we go. That's your mission for your art work for today, or even tomorrow, if you would like to give that a try. And then you could photograph that and put it on Dojo for all of your teachers to see. That would be great. Enjoy. Thank you. See you next time.